Hi everybody, and welcome to this video in which I'll be guiding you through the remainder of the general induction booklet, which is tasks 10 to 14. As we make a start on task 10, we're beginning a new part of the booklet called Health and Safety, Staying Safe. In this section you'll learn about how to stay safe in the college, and task 11 is part of that section too. The last three tasks cover college rules and discipline at the college. You will then have finished the booklet. Okay, so if you haven't done so already, you should open your booklet at task 10, which is actually on page 11, and have a look at the instructions about how to complete this task, and then come back to the video and we'll have a look at some example answers. So you should now have had a look at this task to get an idea for how to do it, and just made some notes in your rough work about your answers to these questions. If you haven't done that, you should do that now and pause the video, and we'll have a look at some answers that you can get into your booklet. You can have a look at the answers you've given in rough and also these answers, and as with previous tasks, you should then select what you think are the best answers in each box. So, where can you smoke? You can't smoke anywhere in the college building or even just outside the building. The only place you can smoke is on the far side of the access road that leads into the college, and there is a smoking shelter there for smokers to use. What does the fire alarm sound like? You can't mistake it. You can't miss it. It's a very loud two-tone siren. When it goes off, you'll know about it. What must you do if you hear the fire alarm? Take the quickest route to the staff car park without running. Don't use the lift. Do not take any belongings with you. What special clothing, if any, are you required to wear during college classes? No special clothing is needed for IT, but you should wear comfortable clothes as you'll be sitting at a computer for long periods of time. You should wear comfortable clothing. So if you need to some extra time to just fill in those boxes, just pause the video there. If not, we'll move on. So here's the answers to the last couple of boxes there. So have a look at the notes you've made before you started the task, and these model answers as well, and you can fill in those two boxes. On to task 11 then. As with all the previous tasks, now you should be getting used to this. Pause the video here if you need to, and have a look at the task. So this task is all about the importance of health and safety in the college. If you read your booklet there, on page 12 now, what would happen if the college didn't have health and safety procedures? How do these procedures protect individuals? Why is it important that individuals know and understand the health and safety procedures that protect them? And who is responsible for making sure you follow these procedures? So make some notes in rough, spend a couple of minutes doing that, then come back to the video and we'll have a look at some answers which you can mix in with yours, choose the best ones, and fill in the box that says record your findings here. The most important thing to note here is that last answer there in yellow, really, which is the answer to the question, who is responsible for making sure you follow these procedures? And that is, health and safety is the responsibility of everybody, all staff and all students. We're all there to look after each other. And so on to task 12, which is all about what is acceptable behaviour in the college. Again, at this point, as with all the tasks so far, you should pause the video here, read the instructions, which are on page 13, have a go at the task yourself, write down some of your answers in rough, and then come back to the video, and you can have a look at some model answers, and mix them with your own answers to create the best possible answer for the box there on page 13. Okay, as always there, pause and rewind the video if you need to there to complete task 12. And we move on to the next task, which is task 13. Which is all about attendance. Now you'll find in this task, more than previous tasks, that the space that you're given in the answer book may not be big enough for some of the answers to these questions. So if you need to, go on to the bottom of page 15 where there's quite a lot of room and you can carry on there. Now this next section is all about attendance, which is one of the most important things you'll learn about in these videos. What good attendance is, what authorized attendance means, what will count as unauthorized attendance against you. So this is a very particularly important section of the booklet. You must attend regularly and punctually. You must phone the college before the absence, or it will be recorded as unauthorized and will count against you. College policy is to have an attendance of at least 85%, but in the IT and business qualification, we feel a minimum of 95% is more sensible. Punctuality, that is, being late for a lecture. Anyone who's late for a lecture will need to fill in the late book, and if lateness becomes a habit, targets may need to be set. Now, there are many different types of absence which you'll need to know about. Which ones you need to contact the college about, which ones you don't. Most of them you will. Which ones are most common, which ones will count as unauthorized, which ones will count as authorized, which ones will count against your EMA, which ones won't, which ones count against your Welsh Learning Grant, and which ones don't. Very important if you're not going to fall foul of the disciplinary procedure in the college or miss out on some payments from your EMA or your WLG. So the most common type of absence by far is sickness. And if you're sick, you must phone in before 10 AM or it will be marked as unauthorized absence. And if you're absent for 3 days or more, so from that third day, you will need a doctor's note. So from the third day onwards, even if you phone in before 10 AM, it will go down as unauthorized against you. Actually, just before we go on to medical appointments, an important thing to remember about sickness is you do have to phone in every day that you're sick, not just on the first day. Okay, so the second most common reason for missing lectures is medical appointments, doctor, dentist, physio, opticians. Again, you must let us know before the appointment and produce an appointment card or letter as soon as possible after the absence, or it will go down as unauthorized. The next type of absence isn't very common, but it has happened in the past, and it's in case of snow. If the college is closed due to snow, then all classes will go down as cancelled for that day, and your absence will not count against you. But if the college is not closed and you don't come in, then it will count against you. So it follows that you need to know whether the college is open or closed if you're going to be not coming in. And the way to do that is to phone in and let the college know. If you phone in and ask them, is the college open? If somebody answers, it probably is. There'll usually be an automated message on the phone as well if the college is closed. But if you don't come in and it turns out the college was open, it will count against you. Now the following things is a list of things that don't count as authorized absence. But in the past, students have fallen foul of this and they've taken days off for these reasons, thinking they were authorized, and they're not. Any employment, part or full-time, during college hours will not be authorized and will go down against you as unauthorized. And if you pick up too much unauthorized absence, then the disciplinary procedure may kick in against you. Leisure activities, going to the gym, playing tennis, anything like that will not count as authorized absence. That would be unauthorized absence. Birthdays and family celebrations, unauthorized absence. Child-minding brothers or sisters, unauthorized absence. Driving lessons will be unauthorized and will go down against you, but a driving test won't. That is authorized. Holidays. You must not arrange holidays for during term time so that they end up with you missing classes. Lecturers are not allowed to take holidays in term time, and students are the same. It's the same for both. Okay, so the next box is discipline. Students breaking college rules may find themselves being disciplined under the college disciplinary procedure. What you should do at this point is pause the video and flip forward to page 16 of the booklet and read about the stages of the college disciplinary procedure, which starts with an informal verbal warning and ends with a disciplinary panel. So make yourself familiar with that now and then come back to the task. Okay, so you should now be familiar with the college disciplinary procedure. One thing to remember though is that the college disciplinary procedure does not apply during the first few weeks of term, up to October half term. That's because that is the probationary period, and there'll be more of that in a couple of slides' time. So do your very best, show respect to others, follow all college rules, no rude or abrasive behaviour, no verbal abuse, and certainly no physical abuse, and you will not have to worry about the college disciplinary procedure at all. Okay, the next box is personal music equipment. So, as with all the questions before now, you should go away and write some answers of your own, but also have a look at the answers on screen and put the best ones into the box there. Pausing the video if you need to. Same with parking there. Same with food and drink. And the same with mobile phones. So I mentioned the probationary period earlier. This is the period of the first 6 or 7 weeks of term, up to half term. This year, 2016-17, it is the first 6 weeks of term, which finishes with the October half term, which starts on the 21st of October. We break up on the 21st of October, which is a Friday. Now, as I said earlier, during the probationary period, the full disciplinary procedure doesn't apply, the 5-stage disciplinary procedure. Instead, you'll be assessed day by day on your attendance, your attitude, your behaviour, your progress. And if any of that is not up to scratch, then you will be either asked not to come back after half term, or maybe we'll have to look into whether it's the best course for you and whether another course might be a better option. And so, task 14, the last task of this booklet. And this task is all about what is meant by gross misconduct in the college. And there'll be a list on this slide of things that, if you do them, it will mean gross misconduct. And the difference with gross misconduct is that will mean instant removal from the college. You'll see that these things are very serious behavioural or even sometimes criminal activities, which again, the disciplinary procedure will not apply. You will just be removed straight away from the college. So we've got things like violence, for example, offensive language, racist or sexist abuse, use of alcohol or drugs in the college, vandalism, including graffiti, bullying, use of weapons or bringing weapons into the college, and theft. And as you can see, the difference with most of those is that what makes them special as a group of activities there is that in the outside world they would be illegal. So if you do them within the college, no disciplinary procedure, no warnings, you would be immediately removed from the college. So just add those then to the list on page 17, and that is the final task. But there's a couple of other little activities that I'd like you to do before you hand in your booklet for marking, and they just involve doing a bit of reading. If you haven't read the stages of the disciplinary procedure on page 16, you should do that now. Have a very careful read and study the complaints procedure on page 18, which you need to know about, and the College Code of Conduct, which is on page 19 and page 20. Congratulations! you've finished the general induction booklet. If you've got any gaps, or you need to go over any bits again, just have a look at this video and the first video and make sure that everything is filled in to the best of your ability, the best possible answers before you hand it in to me for marking. And I'll see you on the next video, which will be about how to complete the course induction booklet, which is more specific to the actual course that you're on rather than being about the entire college. Bye bye and see you then.